Hello and welcome to a new Let's Play. It's been a while, hasn't it, viewers? So this is something I enjoyed as when I was a kid. It's by Kuju and it came out in 2005 for the GameCube. But once all these splash screens are done, we will see what it is. This is something I've been meaning to record for a while because I'm a big fan of emulation, as you might know, and I got a new graphics card over Christmas, so I thought I'd test out something I was very fond of as a kid, and which not all that many people have heard of. As you can see from the occasional screw-ups, there are some problems with the emulation on this. It's not the perfect game to emulate. It does stutter occasionally when things get a bit busy, but I have tried my best, and it does look very nice in HD, so hopefully you'll enjoy that at the very least. So here I am recording this after playing the game for a very stupid reason, which is that I only have one mini USB cable here. I left one at home over Christmas and didn't bring it back to Sheffield, so I can either have a controller plugged in or have a microphone. But anyway, shh, let's be reverent and quiet.
For months now, the site of an uneasy truce between two mighty armies. This is a waiting game, with both sides primed to retaliate in the event of a preemptive strike. But on this historic day, control of the Tundran Empire passes from the iron grip of Tsar Gorgi into the more progressive hands of his son and heir, Marshal Nova. And with Nova in charge, there are those who dare to whisper that this time, peace might just endure. War is a contact sport, gentlemen. Sack that defensive line. Go, go, go! Are getting mighty twitchy down there. We got the men, we got the playbook. Where's the conflict?
The world is changing, Herman.
Looks like this truce could last a long, long time.
What? You gotta be pulling my pin.
But if we have to fight, then fight we shall.
In the meantime, the men are getting out of shape. How about we organize a little sortie to perk up their spirits?
A field exercise. With live ammo, of course. Eddie, I like the way you think.
Ah, American stereotypes, how lovely. Anyway, we're about to pass into control once this lovely loading bar has completed. So, yes, welcome to Battalion Wars. It was originally titled Advance Wars Under Fire. It was more of a direct spin-off from Advance Wars, the turn-based strategy game on the Game Boy series and on DS. But it then changed a little bit. It's more squad-based, and you have direct control over units, and it's real-time. So a bit different, as you'll see.
Has chosen you to carry out a recon mission along our border with the Tundran territories. It's been a while since your battalion saw combat, so I'm going to be putting you through your paces before you head out on patrol.
Battalion in this case meaning about 10 to 15 guys, rather than the actual meaning of battalion, which is about 500.
You've got the right stuff for this patrol. Lock on to one of the targets, then move in any
Waste of
direction
targets
and
in my
press the
view,
B
but
button to execute a combat role. Press and hold the R button, then use the control
I do sort of
stick to look
zoom through
around.
this tutorial because I want to get to the actual exciting missions
Looks like
later
you're
on.
in good shape, Commander. This mission is a go. Move out to the next gold star.
Yep, so basically this is mission based. You have gold stars, which are your primary objectives, and silver stars later on, which are your secondary objectives, as she's saying. Sorry, Betty.
Wait a minute. What's this children
I've
doing in frontier
never
territory?
done it. I'm sure it's possible
Tundran spy.
to kill the spy before you're meant to. I do wonder what happens if you do, because
Whoa! Looks like the spy is setting up listening
it's
posts on our turf.
he's not very
Destroy
strong.
them.
There's a bunch of sort of targets and enemies in this level that that never appear again elsewhere in the game. So they put some level of effort into that.
Eyes in the sky before they can report back to Tundran High. Outstanding! Over there, it's the Tundran spy.
So I'm currently playing as a grunt, which is the basic infantry unit armed with a assault rifle and very little else. They're not particularly good, mainly used for capturing posts and attacking and defending against other infantry, really.
More listening posts and spy balloons. Frontier Command isn't gonna like this.
Yes, if anyone's interested, I
Destroy 'em all.
got a Nvidia GTX, I can't remember, 760 Ti, which is very, very powerful. It was discounted from £560 to £278, so that was well worth it. Wouldn't have been able to afford it at full price, but you know, my old graphics card, part of the reason actually that I haven't been doing videos for a long time is my old graphics card, which is a AMD 7870. Just went wrong. It started crashing all the time, and I could only boot in safe mode and couldn't run anything with DirectX, so that was very strange. But now I've got a new one and it's much better, so I thought I'd emulate some GameCube stuff in HD. I've got some other things I might want to show you. I might think about showing you Cubivore, or oh, I don't know what else I've got on my list. F-Zero GX would be good.
These rifle grunts will now follow you. See the green arrow icon
I would
on the
explain that I'm now in control of some units, but she's kind of explaining this for me.
button once. See the silver shield? Head to the next gold star marked on your radar. We're getting reports of a Tundran camp in the area.
Indeed. In case you're incredibly dim and haven't worked this out, the western frontier is the United States, the Tundran Empire is Russia, and then Exylvania, who show up later, are like sort of imperial, sort of Nazi Germany.
When your men have
All a bit
destroyed
unpleasant.
their target, free those prisoners, Commander. Target the big ammo dump. The explosion should be enough to destroy
This was
the fire.
a British-developed game, and it kind of shows occasionally in some of the sense of humour, especially the more physical comedy. But this is me having a bit of a problem getting inside the recon here, because the GameCube, of course, had shoulder buttons which were both analog and digital, so you can press them down as an analog switch like a trigger, and then they'd turn into a digital switch. When you push them all the way down, they'd click. Of course, I play with the PS3 controller, so I have two shoulder buttons on each side, one of which I use for the analog because I have a trigger, one of which I use for the click. That leaves no button left for me to use the Z button, so I have to use L3, and I got a bit confused about what it was. And here's another emulation glitch. At all times, I've figured out the way this game works is it always has a target on screen, which is always at the centre of the screen. For some reason, tanks always get glued on that, especially in cutscenes, and they just sort of drag towards it. I don't really know why. You can see it here. See, if we were fighting that in this mission, we'd be definitely screwed. But fortunately, we aren't. So yes, we get an S rank for that, which I think is if you get 95% total or more. Speed is obviously for your time taken to complete it. Technique is units lost. Power is units destroyed. So yeah, we did reasonably well. So here we go with Mission 2 of Battalion Wars. It's fairly quick at the start of the game. Later on, missions will start taking longer. There's some more interesting ones as well. There's a particularly nice one where you have to defend a beach that's under invasion.
General Herman here, Commander. Do you copy?
Indeed we do.
Here's the bad news. Tsar Gorgy's launched an all-out attack.
Indeed he has.
Which means our position is now behind enemy lines. But here's the good news.
Okay, is there good news, Herman?
You're gonna join forces with the boys from Bravo Company. We'll see if we can't get us a piece of the action.
Does Company B have a Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy?
Bravo Company's been airdropped just north of your position. Head for the Gold Star, Commander.
If anyone's thinking this game is a little bit like Hogs of War, you are entirely right.
Press the X button to get these boys to follow you.
Only with better graphics and slightly funnier.
That pesky spy again.
There's the bastard. I think he's just a generic infantry unit that they just renamed, but I'm not sure how it worked.
You can grab these for yourself, otherwise your grunts will pick them up as necessary.
Indeed they will. And that was just for fun.
Eliminated my spy, General, but his comrades are thirsty for revenge.
Just give them some vodka, they'll settle down. This game is very stereotypical about other countries. But then in Battalion Wars 2 for the Wii, the British don't come off terribly well, so, you know, you can kind of forgive them.
Nice shooting, son. But let's keep moving. There's gonna be plenty more where they came from. Looks like a small enemy camp. Press the plus control pad to enter global mode and get a better view of the battlefield. Darn it, the enemy's in cover, Commander. Try to flank him on the right.
This game occasionally tries to make you use tactics where you don't actually really need to. Like this, you can just charge over and shoot them in the face. It also tries to tell you that you can't use bazooka veterans to take on infantry, but we'll come to that. We'll cross that when we come to it. So here's one of the more fun bits of the tutorial bit of the game, where you get to jump into this machine gun nest.
See the 01 marker? That means the MG nest up ahead is empty.
And me struggling to get in again, because I thought it was Z. For some reason it's B for machine gun nests when it isn't for anything else. That's me aiming manually, though I do later switch to locking on, I think. Machine gun nests, I mean, generally speaking, aren't all that useful because you're rarely in this game under attack just from infantry. See, I don't know why at this point we couldn't just stop on the bridge and shoot down at them, or shoot down on them from the top of the cliff. That would be how an actual military force might do it. But no, we are in the world of Battalion Wars, so it's all a bit weird. You know, Nintendo have a style guide for developers as to how you refer to the buttons, and I don't know why they called that one Start Pause, because they could have just called it Start. Everyone would have known what they meant. But it's all like, for instance, you can't tell the player to push A. You can only tell them to push the A button. It's very strange like that. I learned that when I was reading the developer blog of the people who did the Mother 3 translation, because they tried to keep it in style. That was interesting to learn. Right, come on, troops. So, I first played this game in about 2005 when it came out, and I never kind of thought it was going to be a big thing. It did later get a sequel for Battalion Wars 2, which actually had multiplayer. This game, for some reason, you'd think it would, but it doesn't have multiplayer. But nonetheless, it's very good. I certainly wouldn't have any major complaints about it, other than some slightly unfair gameplay later on. Ah, there's okay. Oh, and we get tanks finally. Oh, all right. Ah, combat rolls. Everyone in video games knows how to do combat rolls. I don't think most people in real life do. This is me getting lost briefly. Oh, there we are. And of course, using the C stick, you can scroll through your units. You can scroll through unit types. You can also scroll through individual ones of each type. And here we go. T-copters are obviously an integral unit in Advance Wars, so you use them to fly units around. But in this, you never actually control them directly. They only ever come down to give you goodies. But we'll see some extra enemies down here. This is me. I saw some sandbags over there. I thought they must have built these into the level for a reason, but apparently not. For some reason, the little machine gunner on top of the tank is never under any danger from the machine gun. But, yeah, I know. I mean, you can actually take down tanks with machine guns, as we'll demonstrate later, but you're not really supposed to be able to. It's a product of what is called in the games industry scratch damage, where you see it in RPGs, where if you attack a level 99 with a level 1, you'll do like 1 damage to it. That's because the game's mathematics relies on it being able to do small amounts of damage, and if you concentrate that heavily enough, you can do serious damage. And there you have it. So yes, that was a fairly easy initial assault with my tank. I think this is the first time a Frontier unit dies in a couple of minutes, actually. Mainly just me being careless. Right, so anti-tank units in this game are bazooka veterans, although you can use others for the purpose as well, again, as we'll find out later. So this is our first encounter with them. They can do serious damage to armoured units, as you just saw because I just got hit, but they're not too tough to take down. It does take a good few of them to actually kill you most of the time. So combat in this, as you see, can get a little bit chaotic, but we have won the mission, so that's nice.
General, this battle has only strengthened my resolve to crush the Frontier once and for all.
Rah, vodka, Die Bear, Motherland, Putin, Lenin. Well, not Lenin, because you're supposed to be Tsar Nicholas II. Oh, we only got an A on that, as I was slightly off on my power. I didn't destroy that recon at the end, as you might have seen. It's quite hard to get 100% on power, because they usually hide a couple of units away halfway across the map, where you have to actually go hunting for them. So yeah, the United States have just invaded Russia, no biggie.
When are you going to give up? This is stalemate, father.
Patience, Nova. The game is not over yet.
Marshal Nova, there are reports of sporadic fighting across the demilitarized zone.
What? The Western Frontier have broken the truce?
Actually, no.
You're a weirdly proportioned woman.
Forgive me, son. I could not stand to see you toss our proud imperial history into the wastebasket of reformist peacemaking.
How dare you? The Tundran army is no longer yours to command. Nelly, take control of those units. It seems we are at war.
You would replace me with her? This is an outrage!
Uh-oh. Well, you know, Ivan Drago is kind of right. Come on. What are we playing as Colonel Austin this time?
Colonel Austin at your service, Commander.
Evidently so.
The radar array at Windbreak Ridge has intercepted vital enemy transmissions.
That's a well-defended position. three guys.
We need you to reinforce Windbreak Ridge before it falls into enemy hands.
Why are you two not in the machine gun nests, really?
The Frontier are attempting to resupply the radar array. Stop them at once.
This is, of course, our first encounter with bazooka veterans, but that'll be fun later.
Major Nellis, sounds like she means business, Commander. Let's get going.
These two have a weird dynamic, as you will find out later. But okay, let's take our grunts and move off.
Move out to Windbreak Ridge and reinforce the radar array. Head for the Gold Star, Commander. Looks like the Tundrans got here first. Remember what General Herman taught you about flanking, Commander?
Yes, if you do it too much, you'll go blind. So let's use some cover, or not. Let's just charge them and shoot them in the brain. I mean, the people in this game must be firing BB guns or something, because it takes about 20 shots at close range to kill them. How did you get there? Down you go. And of course we run into some emulation difficulties again, for which I do very much apologise. If I had a way of playing this game in HD that wasn't through an emulator, I would do it. I could always just play it off the console, but, you know, can't be bothered setting it up, and more to the point, want to play it in HD, so, you know. Okay, and yes, here we can see we have we have some bazooka veterans here, which is very nice.
Those are bazooka veterans
So
from the garrison.
these are kind of my favourite unit to play as.
These boys have the firepower to neutralize the enemy
They are designed as an anti-vehicle unit, as would seem obvious, because they have a chargeable weapon, as we're seeing here, which fires faster and produces more damage the more it's charged. But you're not supposed to be able to use them against infantry because the projectile is supposed to move too slow, but the AI is not actually built to stand up to that assertion. So what you can actually do is basically the bazooka acts as a giant shotgun. You move in close, charge it up and fire it, and it will kill an infantry unit in one shot. So yes, we'll man these machine gun nests. One of the things that's slightly annoying about this is it's not particularly clear which is the rear and front of the base immediately, until the star comes up, which it doesn't for a while. Yeah, we know.
Now press the Y button to order your selected rifle ground.
But why? Ha 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 ha. Ah, there it is. There is the recon unit. So let's show this mother off.
Target the MG nest and press the X button.
So yeah, does a fair amount of damage, as you can see. You can either spam slow projectiles like that, or charge it up and fire fast, powerful ones.
Rifle Squad 1, I command you to strike.
And now we have some riflemen to contend with, but we'll just sit back and watch as the machine guns make work of these. Oh, and our bazooka veterans are still there. Oopsie. Actually, we can demonstrate the effect on infantry of this now. Like that. And again, another one. I mean, it just become ridiculously easy to kill everything with these. You can even bring down helicopters and planes with them if you get good enough at the manual aiming. There's only 2 attack points. You're in the middle of 2 cliffs. Don't you mean Recon 3? Because you did send 2 at us before.
Vehicles approaching from the river. Get your bazooka veterans to the Silver Star.
Ah, dear. Come on, bazooka veterans. I mean, it'll mainly be me again.
The message log records each of my radio.
I mean, you're supposed to use all your units fairly evenly to do lots of different work, but really you end up selecting one unit you really like and using it to do sort of 90% of the work. So there we have quite a bit of damage off the bat, and that's 1 recon down. So the Tundra and Heavy recon seem to be a bit better than the American, well, Western Frontier ones. I'm not quite sure why. Maybe it's to present us with more of a challenge earlier in the game before they send actual tanks at us later in the level.
But there is a second wave of Tundran infantry ready to strike. Head for the Silver Star.
You're a colonel. You're supposed to be commanding like a whole regiment. Why are you commanding the 11 of us? Oh well, let's get on with it. So I'll take some cover here.
Remember to use global mode for a broader perspective on the battlefield. Press any direction on the.
Yeah, it just means you can pull your viewpoint out.
Excellent work, Commander. But if I know the Tundra, they are merely gearing up for an even more devastating attack.
Then here it is, Colonel. For your sake, I hope you have men dug in on both sides of your radar.
Ooh, that sneaky, innovative new strategy of attacking both places at once.
Recon vehicles approaching the main entrance, and more infantry attacking from the rear.
We will be fine.
You didn't think I was going to make it easy for you, did you?
Oh dear. Well, the machine gun nests are handling that absolutely fine. And our bazooka guys will be alright. Oh, another light recon, wow. See, their light recons can fire forwards, which ours can't. Ours only have a machine gun on the back, which is no use to anyone. But our heavy recons do have a machine gun, but you know, if they're as durable as that, it's not all that much use.
I did not think we could take this much punishment.
You have defended yourselves courageously so far, but now I shall strike at the very heart of your defenses.
Tundran copter incoming. Nellie means to fly her infantry.
It is technically possible to because this happens a few times where they'll come in and try to be landing infantry in your base. It is technically possible to destroy it before it lands. I think it does require a bit of preparation, as you can see here, me trying to do that, but obviously it doesn't work. So they land a couple of riflemen, but it doesn't amount to much. And then obviously the real challenge is next.
Congratulations, Commander. You defended the radar array long enough for reinforcements to arrive.
Not so fast, Colonel. I have one last trick up my sleeve.
Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs.
Enemy light tanks incoming. Get down to the
Oh
river
noes. Right, so of course we bring the bring our tank and our infantry with us, which is a slight necessity when you're battling tanks. Although obviously, I mean, I'm just doing this by myself and it works out okay.
Destroy those tanks, Commander.
Alright, alright. Whee! You get some range on the bazookas once they're charged. You use them to snipe from halfway across the map sometimes, because the activation range of the enemy units is often quite small. So down goes one, and soon down goes another. So yeah, this is totally how anti-tank warfare works in real life, of course. You get one infantryman with a handheld anti-tank weapon to do it.
Incredible. I may have underestimated.
As you can see what I mean here about the weird mechanic. They're kind of implied to be sort of enamored with one another.
The tenacity of the frontier soldier, Major Nellie.
Although he's a solid professional, and she's just weird.
That much is evident, Colonel Austin. We should convene under the white flag sometime to discuss tactics, of course.
Uh-oh.
Whatever does she
I bet
mean
there's
by
some
that,
Rule
Commander?
34 out there of this game. Anyway, so we are at the end of the first installment of Battalion Wars. I will have more missions for you very soon. I have recorded some more of this already. I'm going to try and play through the whole game. I think there's about 14-15 missions in total, and that's my first 100%, and probably my last. So it's been very nice to speak to you, and I will see you for the exciting next mission. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.